Previously on the Crenshaw Corner.
I don't want to keep giving you my opinion and you doing what you want to do. So let's not discuss, because I think we need to understand the concept of this all. Because once we can filter all of that stuff out, we can be consistent in things for ourselves.
Right.
But we have to first sift through some stuff and be honest with ourselves. Because for me, what this has done for me, reading both books and going over both books, it was like, Angela, if you value your health like you say you do, then there's some things that you're going to have to do. You're going to have to be consistent in drinking that water, whether you like it or not. We need that 100 ounces. You know what I'm saying? You have to be consistent. And in order to be consistent, that means you have to have this is what I have to do in order to make it consistent. I have to have the first 50 ounces on my dresser. So the moment I wake up, this is the only way it's going to work for me. I'm talking about for me.
Water.
I start drinking water 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning. And I have the bottle that tells you the time. When I don't do that, because I do it sometimes, so I'm transparent. I do it sometimes, I do, and sometimes I don't. What is going on, family, guys? What is going on, guys? I am Angela Crenshaw. What is going on? This is another episode of the Crenshaw Corner. Do you hear the silence, y'all? Do y'all hear it? He let me be on here by myself, y'all, with some guests. Y'all, I am up here without the magnificent, the most amazing, sexy husband, Mr. Crenshaw. He has given me the realm. A little scared with some of my friends, so that's why I'm super excited. If y'all can see me be dancing. He said I do have to behave. I do have to do housekeeping, and I do have to say I will be on the socials, and I have to be good, is what he said. So, hi, ladies. Do y'all trust me?
Yes.
Hi, honeys. Hi. How y'all doing?
Hello.
Now, here's the thing I got to say before I introduce you guys and do all the housekeeping. I have to write down the introduction because I have no clue. I don't do it. So he's like, be yourself. Yeah, but I don't do it. So don't be judging me when y'all see me reading it. And family out there, if it sounds like I'm reading it, it's because I am.
Yes, you are.
I have no clue. And I'm kind of sad. Like, whenever me and him are not on the microphone, you see my little strip of piece of paper? Y'all see my paper? Y'all see my little paper? Hey, family, listen, this is what it is. But listen, he said I have to say, look, I'm going to keep saying he said I have to say, right? Okay, so first of all, just to let you guys know that for our new guests, our new listeners, what's up, family? How y'all doing? We are so glad that you are here. We appreciate you however you found us. We are so glad that you are here. And for our returning people, what's up, returners? See, I can't even do my returners because my voice be ready when he do that. Listen, we're so glad that you are back. We adore and love you, and we have so much gratitude that you listen to us all the time. So thank you. We're at like 180 something episodes, y'all. That is crazy. Yes. And people keep listening. So for the new family and for everybody else who is listening, you can find us on all the platforms. And that's what I was going to say, right? I was like, babe, I'm just going to say all the platforms. He was like, that's not how that works, baby. Out. So all the platforms, we're on Amazon Music, Podbeam, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Google Podcasts. Come on, somebody. And our own www.thecrenshawcorner.com. Did y'all see how I did that?
Yeah.
I feel good. I feel good, right? So that's all the platforms, guys. Just come check us out. And again, thank you so much. We're also on the socials. Now, I'm doing this really quick because I really want to talk to my girls, okay? So we're on the socials. We're on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Now, here's the thing, y'all. I got to get used to this whole TikTok. I got a couple of things up there, but I haven't really started the TikTok thing. But I'm having like the TikTok. Okay, first of all, I have learned so much from TikTok, y'all. I bought a weighted hula hoop because of TikTok, y'all.
I have one of those.
We'll talk about it later, y'all. TikTok made that. I really was like, I'm not gonna be one of those people that gonna be TikTok made me buy something.
But you are.
Girl, a hot pink one. You hear me? Whereas you get smaller in the waist, you can take the little pieces off. Come on, somebody. So I'm super excited. Okay, back to the family. Okay, family. I'm so sorry. I just had to get that. Wow. So we're gonna do better. We're gonna do better at TikTok and YouTube. This is the end of the year season, so we have to be better than we've ever been before. So thank you guys so much for hanging on with us. Thank you so much. So I also want to say, okay, ladies, so I'm with my girls. And I have this thing on the other side. Yeah, you see my flip the paper? I'm going to take them in the back, let them know what I'm doing. So I am with my girls, right? And I'm hanging with them just as much as Mia and Tony hang together. What show is it?
No idea.
Mia and Tony?
Yeah.
No idea.
Okay, let me try this. Mia, Tony, Joan, and Lynn.
Girlfriend.
Yes.
I don't want my black card revoked.
Your black card's about to be revoked. Angela, your card. Give me your card. Give me your card, sis. Friends.
Never watched it.
Girlfriends. Really?
Nope. I remember the commercial, but
I'm going to need your card, baby. Go ahead in your wallet.
Friends.
Why we both, without even knowing, we both was like this.
Like,
What?
I don't feel too bad.
Yo, if we would have videotaped that, y'all would have saw the look that we just gave her. Y'all would have been like, oh my God, what just happened? Oh my God. Okay. I'm so sorry. We love you, Angela. We love you. Okay, so I'm going to let you guys introduce yourself. But here's the thing. When you introduce yourself, you cannot tell me that you're married. You cannot tell me that you have kids. You got to tell me about you. Whatever you believe that you bring to the table about you. But you can be like, because you know how, and I don't understand why people do this at the job. They be interviewed. So tell me about, well, I'm a mama. You at a job interview. Tell me your skill set. What does your husband and your 4 kids got to do with this job? Absolutely. I'm a mom and I'm 4 and 3 grandbabies and I'm family oriented. I'm family oriented. Off the gate. And as an interviewer, I'm looking at them like, so.
But who are you?
Well, who? What? Like. Okay, so y'all cannot. So you can't say husbands. Okay, let me help them. Y'all, they marry. Hallelujah. Years. They have children. My God. Okay, we're done. We're done. We're good. We may revisit that later, but we're not going to revisit it. We're not going to visit it now. So you first. Go, my love. Introduce yourself.
I'm Tiffany.
It's hurting you. Like, what do I say?
Right, I have to think about me. Like, this is a deep question. Yeah. Right. The season I'm in. Who am I? It's $1 million question.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, I love to talk about finances.
Yes,
so
you do.
I'm just gonna start there.
Ooh, she's my spirit friend,
I have
honey.
a history with money. Mm-hmm. I want to learn how to make it work, how to use it. I also want to help individuals and families to help better their budgets. Just figuring out how to make their lives better with money. Outside of that, I like to feel like I'm a peacemaker when it comes to relationships.
Aww.
I try to be transparent. I try to be logical. I try to be as spiritual as I can.
Please, Lord, let me pray.
I would say, that's the gist of.
That's the gist of you?
That's the gist of me.
Okay.
Finance and family.
Hello, honey.
Hi, I'm Angela, and I would say I'm a specialist in living life. So
somebody always got to come on here showing off on the mic.
Yeah.
That's
her.
I'm a specialist of living life.
Yes. So I like to, explore, do new things, try new things. Travel, but even if it's on a small scale, like I like to see people happy. Yeah. I love to encourage people. I like to give people rest, if that makes sense. You know,
it does.
Like just, when someone is in my presence, I want them to leave feeling better than when they came.
That doesn't happen when I leave you.
I just think that life is so stressful and there's
I'm sorry,
so much
pump your
going
brakes.
on.
Why are you not giving me that? Because when I leave you,
whatever.
my face and my face and my stomach. Listen, wait. So that must be for other people, right? Because she make you challenge your whole life. Like, let me go regroup. Right. Let me make sure am I really living my life like I should? Like, who does that? I don't feel recharged, sis. I know one thing I'm going to leave. My face is going to hurt from laughing at her so hard, and my stomach is going to hurt. And I'm going to have to go back home and pray in my closet, regroup everything that I thought I knew about myself. But carry on. Carry on.
That's good. That's good.
Is that good?
You're rethinking life, right?
Rethinking life. That's why she's our mentor. That's why she's our mentor.
I would say that's me in a nutshell.
Yeah. I like it.
I like to see people happy. I like to make people happy if I can, or contribute to a little easier breathing in people's lives.
Yeah.
Because we all need that.
I agree with that. I agree with you too, because we love finances. I am a motivational speaker. I'm a podcaster. I had to teach myself to do this thing about myself. I'm a meditation teacher, which a lot of people don't even know that I'm certified as a meditation teacher because I don't utilize it like I should. That's a side hustle I should be making money off of, and I have not done that as of yet. As well, I am an entrepreneur. We own the Crenshaw Corner, so that we're business owners. And I love, the part of me that I like about me the most, honestly, is how to motivate people, right? To just motivate people to be better and motivate people to do well and inspire people. And I'm not talking about inspiring them about my life, but inspiring them about the things they tell me about their life. Right. I like that. I like to do that. If you tell me something about you and you're like, that's not good, I inspire you that is good. Let me show you how, right? And so, and that's what I like. I'm going to go by what you guys are telling me that you are a straight spiritual mentor. That's your thing.
1,000%.
Yes, that is your thing, sis.
Real,
yes. We don't know how that happened from the Lord. Don't know how we did that, but yes, that's who you are. Did you ever say your name?
I said Angela. Yeah,
you did. What's your last name, sis?
Oh, Anagho. She didn't say her last name.
Tiffany, what's your last name?
Newkirk.
Oh my God!
I was like, well, she didn't say it, so I'm not
gonna say it. Yes, you are a financial person. I don't want to say financial planner because you're so gifted.
Guru.
I like guru.
That's
a financial guru. Because you can call you
like next level weird.
Yeah, because she'll call everybody and text everybody
like
and be like,
in a good way. Like like this isn't normal for
right.
somebody even who loves finances.
Like I can overwhelm people with.
No, she'll email us and be like, hey, okay, now if you do 5 things, the gallon one gonna be $3. Okay, follow step 1. That's what she does. It's like, oh, okay, for the $3 Tide gallon, thank you.
You're like literally bursting at the seams with financial stuff.
Yeah, because you sparkle. When you talk about finances, like you sparkle, it's like, oh my God.
Because that's my realm. That's just where I just...
She's like,
I can talk about it every day, and it breaks my heart because I really don't have anyone to talk to about it every day.
Listen,
I'm like, because we have group chats like with my family, and I'm like, I know they get sick of me just sitting here like, okay, if you ain't doing this, this is what you should do.
Listen, let me tell you something. Do you watch TikTok? There's this video. They about to be sick of me. It's a video that she does. Like they about to, she be fly. She like they about. So you saying your family be like, you be on the phone with them. They about to be sick of me, but about that 2.9 APR that you're doing, I don't know, right? That 24% interest that you're paying, we can really get that taken care of.
Right.
Ooh, it's hurt, don't it? Listen, I wanted to talk to you ladies. First, let me give a shout out to Lady A because we had another wonderful person that was going to be with us today, but she's not feeling well. So our prayers are out to her that she feels better and that she does better because we're gonna have to get her on this mic, which means y'all gonna have to come back and we're gonna do it again. Okay?
Absolutely.
Because we gotta get her back, get the baby back, get her back. So we are praying for you, sis. We are praying for you. Today I wanted to talk about, because both of you guys are business owners and you've been business owners for a while. And now, and you have husbands. See how I let that happen for y'all? And then y'all have children, right? And so we want to talk about, I'm not talking about a balancing act of it, right? I want to know about your business because a lot of people, when they talk to people, especially women and they got families, they want to know, how are you balancing it? I don't care. We'll get to that later. But what I want to know is the fact of the matter about the business. Why did you want to do the business, right? And we'll go from there. So that's where my heart is, because I think I want my listeners, especially my moms and my wives, or women who are not even wives or moms yet, to understand that they can do it. Because a lot of time people go into bed, let me do this before I have my children and before I have a family. And I want them to know that it's not easy, but you can do it if it's your gifting, if it's your passion, if it's really what you want to do. And that's really what I want to chat about with you guys. So I don't have any questions because that's not how it works. But do tell me about your business. Tell everybody, tell your family what you do, the name of your business, honey, what you do.
I'll show you guys ready. Clear my throat. Hey y'all, this is Tiffany again. The name of my business is Mind Over Matter Financials. Let me say this again. The name of my business is Mind Over Matter Financials.
Nice.
S.
Oh, come on with the S. Plural.
And that was given to me by the Holy Spirit.
Come on now.
When I say he was riding me for like, oh my gosh, I want to say like 2 years. It took a while for me to really accept like, this is what I need to do. And so I charged him. I'm like, okay, this is what you want me to do? I need a business name. Because I just didn't want to make up just any name. Like it has
Tiffani's
to be
Finances, something weird. Like
something generic. And I'm just pacing through the house because I like to work out through the house. And it just hit me. Mind over matter financials. And I'm like, mind over. I started talking low there. Sorry about that.
But that's how I said it in the house, y'all. That's how I said it in the house.
It made perfect sense. And I'm like, okay, I'm really, really strong about our minds being able to control our actions. Like, I feel like it strongly starts there. Every decision that we make, every action that we take upon ourselves, it starts with our mind.
Right.
So it made perfect sense. So I'm like, okay, let me go and see if this business is available online. And I did my due diligence and it wasn't. So I'm like, okay, I can tell that this is really for me. And so every step literally after that, when I say his hand was in it, I knew that he was with me. So the gist of my business is basically helping individuals and families learn how to tell their money where to go. Whether if that's just wanting to see all of what they bring in, what's going out, I help create that sheet so that way they can have that visual.
Right.
If they want to save, if they want to purchase a house, just anything that they have a desire of, like I would be that coach. I would be that cheerleader to help you attain that.
Right.
So it's not that deep. It's not that scary. It's just I'm your accountability partner. And that's really the gist of it.
And guru.
And
guru.
That's okay. So when they say guru, they're talking about like my side things, like okay, deals and cash back and things of that nature and hotels and whatnot. So yeah, I do love to do that. I used to be so heavy with couponing and clipping, like it would take me hours to really
I was there too.
Strategic with making sure I get this either for free or for dirt low. And it takes a lot of time to do that. It was just Makai and I at that time, and then I ended up getting engaged and married and got more kids. I don't have the time to do that anymore. It's a full-time job from what I hear.
Coupon is a full-time job.
Right, it really is. And they do have coupon.com and an app, so you can digitally clip those coupons.
See what I mean, y'all? She just slips it in.
But he has blessed us with our income, and we've paid off a lot of debt. We're still going through the process because, like I said, we have a growing family. And so we had to take a pause. And that's the beautiful thing about me being in the situation that I'm in, because I'm not perfect. I'm not 100% debt free. So anyone that comes on as a client, I've been through there. We're going through it. So we can relate to what it is that you're going through. And so that part I love. But that's pretty much the gist of my business. I just love helping people tell their money where to go. Because it's such a relief. Like, especially when you start paying down that debt or just realizing, okay, I have a good handle on my money. At least for me, it was. Because I've been down that road where thousands of dollars in, credit card debt and just literally living paycheck to paycheck and not knowing, how to really get the gist of it. Like my parents, God bless their souls, they did what they could with what they had.
Right.
And so I'm a new generation. So I have new information. I got technology literally at my fingertips. So I feel like I have a due diligence to learn what's out there and share. Like sometimes I feel so guilty at times because it's like, I feel like I'm oversharing. But I'm like, I know they're listening.
There's someone listening to me.
I know they're watching.
Or they're going to come back to you. They're going to come back to you on it. Yeah. They're going to come back to you.
I see you.
Yeah.
And that to me is just very inspiring. Because it's like, I know people are watching and it's like, I really want you to succeed. I want us to all succeed.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. Money is just not the everything of me. I just want to learn how to control it, manage it, help it grow, and just give me the desires that I want for my family.
Right. Be a good steward.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah, be a good steward of all of it. Whew, I got more questions for you. Hello, honey.
Hi.
It's Angela. Go for it,
First
honey.
of all, I want to say that it's the chair making that noise if you hear it. The chair. It's not a good podcast chair because every time you move, you sound like, makes that noise. That wasn't me.
As long as you don't bang on it. Don't bang on the chair, sis. Don't stop banging on the chair. Stop banging on the microphone, baby. So tell us what you do, Angela.
So I own a catering and event business, and So it is called Sweet Pea Smuggles and Cakes.
Yes.
And the funny thing with that name, and I knew that would happen, but I didn't care, was everyone think cakes. Oh, it must be a bakery.
Right.
I don't bake. I can bake, but I don't like to. So I outsource baking. But it is my kids' nicknames.
Right.
Alexandra and Sydney are my sweet peas. We always call them sweet peas. And the two Smuggles and Cakes was a name that my sister created for Matthew and Samantha. Aww. So I was looking for a name and I wanted it to be something unique, you know, not like Angela's Catering. Or, you know, it's like I'm looking, it was just all boring, whatever. And I'm like, okay, I know people are going to be like, I mean, I get sweet peas, snuggles and muggles and
it's messing it up.
Right. They just mess it up.
So
most people just say sweet peas for the most part. But that's what it is. So I even had somebody working on a logo for me recently and she sent in, but it was like all cakes on the logo, and I was like, oh, bless her heart. I was like, so
that ain't it.
You know, my husband was the one who, you know, reached out to her, and I was like, did you tell her it's not a bakery? Because I did tell him that. Make sure she knows it's catering events. But the name, she's got cupcakes on there and cakes. I was like, I don't do that.
I don't like it.
Anyway, so that's what I do. And I've been officially in business. I want to say 4-5 years, maybe.
Nice.
I can't remember.
Has it been 5 years, Angela?
I think so. I think it's either 2017 or 2018. So, unofficially, I was doing it prior to actually, you know, registering the business and getting insurance and all that, you know, permits and all that stuff. But I've always been food. I think out of the womb, I've always been obsessed with food, hospitality, events, putting things together, making things nice. I have my fake food collection. I think you guys saw some of it.
Yes, we did.
I used to draw pictures of food as a kid. And so I got, when I was pregnant with my first, she's 22 now. I remember getting cable because of this, you know, new network.
Food Network, right.
You know, and I used to watch the PBS shows, Emerald Lagasse and all that stuff. So I'm like, okay, I'll watch something to this day. And I'm like, well, I don't live in California. This restaurant is California. So I'll, you know, research it, look through my cookbooks, go on YouTube, make it a bunch of times, decide if I like it or not, make it my own. So that's just kind of me. And so I feel like I'm still retired because I retired when Alexandra was born.
Right.
And like I said, she's 22. So I still, because I feel like it's not really, it's a job. It's a lot of hard work. It is a job, but I just love it. So it doesn't feel like a job. So I still feel like I'm retired, but you know, working on the side.
Side hustle. Thank you.
Side hustle. And it's become very lucrative, you know, and it could, it could be more so. I had a company come to me for a possible contract. What? And so it was between me and this other caterer. And he's like, so it's kind of like, well, this other one we're looking at, she's like $1 million caterer and this and that. And, I was like, well, that's good for her. I was like, I don't want to be $1 million. I said, I could be if I wanted to very easily. If I decided to, really go into marketing and advertising, I said, but I don't want to be $1 million caterer because then I wouldn't have a life, and I'm a specialist in living life. Right. And so for me, I know the amount of
what
work
entails.
That,
what entails
that
to
entails,
do that. Yeah.
And I'm thinking when, he says $1 million caterer, I'm like, okay, that's her profit, right? Because, that's not just sales.
Right.
And so I'm like, I know what that entails. And so no, I kind of still want to live life. I don't want to work that hard.
Yeah.
So
you know what you want to do.
Right.
Let me ask you guys a question, because here's the thing. When you started this journey, were you fearful? And I always ask this question anyway. Were you fearful to charge? Because I know both of you.
Oh my gosh.
So you guys were doing a lot of free work for a long time, right? I watched you guys and a lot. When did you say, what happened that made you go, no, this is my gifting, this is my business, and I need to charge? And were you scared to charge? Because I talked to so many entrepreneurs and they're like, girl, including us, right? Including me, like, I'm like, so I do a couple of things for free first, but I keep hearing the Holy Spirit say, but it costs you to do that, right? It costs you to take the meditation courses. It costs you to do this. It costs you time. It costs you passion. I think people don't understand it when you're an entrepreneur. The time that it's like, if you say, oh, make me something, like, or oh, do the funding, it costs you time to, first of all, and I don't believe that people charge for the time, because it costs me time to research and get it together and make it for you, right? Before I even do do the thing that you're asking me to do. But I realized even with myself, I wasn't charging people for the cost of the research and I was just charging them for the cost of the thing. And I had an entrepreneurial person who don't have a problem with charging, right? It was like, oh, you charging wrong. So in the first place, so I'm asking you, Tiffani, first, like, was it difficult to charge, or were you uncomfortable with charging? Like, how did you start? Yeah.
All of that. I
really?
feel guilty. Yes. I struggle with charging my clients.
Really?
I've been told that.
The financial guru?
Yes, I've been told that my amount is too low and I need to be charging more. I've been told that I'm giving away free information. And it's actually challenged me. Like, I'm honestly feel stuck right now with battling with that, because I don't really know how to, I guess, market myself and to really figure out, okay, how much am I really worth? Because at the core, it's not about receiving the money. It's really about helping those in need. But I am a business.
Right.
Right.
I am an entrepreneur. So that comes with receiving money for my time and for my education and for my experience.
Exactly.
So yes, in the very beginning, I was very fearful. So I started low, and then, you know, I started having consultations, and then I would throw out the amount, and I just felt like maybe that's just too much for them. So I definitely had some struggles with that. And I'm like, of course I can work with you, you know, payment plan. Because I feel like with you going through this, you're going to be so much better off. Like, I can help you pay for this. Just let me, you know, help you.
Right.
So I felt like the Holy Spirit was shifting me in a phase where still work with individuals, but let's kind of scale your business to work with other businesses.
Right.
So I am certified right now with the local and with state. So I'm working on
very good
getting contracts with them.
Right.
So I know that that's going to be a process. But at the core, it's really helping individuals and helping couples and families get through the hardship of ministering their money.
It's part of your ministry.
Right. And so I have to charge, you know, like I said, for my time and for experience. So that's something I'm trying to get over. But yes.
I remember talking to the same entrepreneur, and they were very much like, know your worth ahead of time. Before you even jump in the deep end, know your worth. Because a lot of times we jump in the deep end and don't know our worth. And then by the time we know our worth and we want to upscale our charges, people don't want to pay it. He was like, jump out there now. If it's $150 an hour, it's $150. Everybody not going to be for you, because if you do 75 and then you scale to 150, people who've been working with you can't compute that. And when he said, I was like, he was like, everybody's not your client, right? And you don't want everybody to be your client. True. And he also told me, he was like, also one thing that you want to do, you can put a pocket of time that you can help people and just help them, because that's your ministry. And that's fine. Like, do that. Like, once a month, pick 2 people. Yeah, I can give you an hour, whatever that is. But what you cannot do, and I mean, he was mad at me like I did him some harm. I was like, I ain't did nothing to you though. Right? Why you mad at me? But he was like, but charge what you know your worth is. Don't jump in without knowing your worth. And I was like, because, you know, like, I want to do this, and I'll just charge like meditation. Like, I research people doing meditation for an hour, $25, $40, $50 for an hour. Don't do one-on-one. It's over and it's a wrap. And I'm like, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to do some classes and $10 per person.
Yeah.
You know, we jump in without knowing the worth. Was it hard for you, Angela, to charge, or did you have a hard time charging, or did you want to not charge at all?
No, it wasn't. It wasn't hard, but I think it's not so much fear, but I think even for you, Tiffani, it's just you have to learn your worth. For me, I had to learn it because I wasn't sure. So I think a lot of it when you first start out, it was just sort of just a level of ignorance. Like it's new, you're exploring, you're trying to figure that out. So for me, it wasn't fear. It was more like I did a lot of stuff, you know, when I was serving at church and just for people, just because I wanted to. But I always looked at it as like a learning experience, you know. And so I did sort of, you know, toyed with the idea of starting it officially and, you know, whatever. But, you know, but there was some fear and just, of course, just starting a business, period. And so, you know, but then it was like, you know, it was just the Lord basically gave me a swift kick and was like, okay, it's time. Like, enough, it's time. Like, you don't have to go to school. Because one of the things was, you know, I didn't go to culinary school and blah, blah, blah. I'm self-taught. And, you know, God was just like, yeah, you don't have to, you're good. So for me, it was just more of a learning process because, you know, I was still a student. I had a business, but I was still learning. I was still a student. And so as I would research other catering events websites and I would see like what they were charging, but I knew I wasn't comfortable charging that yet because I hadn't established myself yet and I wasn't confident enough yet that I could deliver that level of service.
Right.
So for me, it was more just like I don't mind, like in the beginning, charging less because I was still learning and I felt like, okay, this person is giving me an opportunity and taking a chance on me because I'm not out there yet. You know, my work, I don't have a portfolio built up yet. So I didn't mind like, okay, you know, charging a less, you know, smaller cost because for me, it was also building my confidence, you know, teaching me, okay, do this and not that, more of this, less of this. These flowers, not those, this setup, you know. And so for me, it was like in the beginning, it was just fun. You know, it was just like a learning. Oh, that's Angela's phone, Sanchez.
I'm in trouble. Go ahead, y'all.
Yes,
I'm in trouble.
She forgot to silence her phone.
I did. I'm in trouble. I'm sorry, honey. Soon as he edit this bad boy, I'm in trouble. That's all I got to say, honey. I'm in trouble.
So rude. Why you gotta be so
rude? Ooh. I'm so sorry, ladies.
Yeah. So for me, so I think that was it. So I didn't, and so I think even with you, like, you know, I was one of the ones like Tiffani charged more because even your, you know, was low. But I think you may even feel that way too. It's just, same thing. I just enjoyed doing it. It was just literally still is just like a ministry to me. But I think as, you know, as you learn and you get your flow and what works, and I think it's just all a learning process. So as I went through that, then when I was like, okay, and I'm still learning. I always want to, I literally after every event, I try to write a few things down, what I could do better, what to, you know, just something that I learned. So every event that I do, big or small, I go into it like, what am I going to learn? Like, what can I do different, better? What didn't I know? You know, and so for me, I think there's really no fear. I think, I hate to say, but I think starting a new business, it might be okay. Like for you saying like 10, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. Like if you do just like an intro, because you're trying to establish yourself, you're trying to build a reputation. Because if I come and say, well, she's, you know, I don't really know her. I don't really know. She doesn't have much, you know, YouTube videos to show me or marketing or, you know, a lot of, you know, reviews. So to have an introductory meditation class for $10, $15, $20, whatever. And then it's like, I think that's smart because it's like you're building your clientele. So you're taking a hit on the front end, but then on the back end, you know, you're going to, so now it's like, you know, slowly I had to, okay, my prices last year, you know, yesterday, then now my prices today. But then I think now though I have a portfolio, I have a reputation, I have a lot of, so, you know, like I don't, you know, all of mine is, I mean, I have Instagram page and I have a website, but like God has just blessed me that it's just word of mouth. Or, you know, people just, you know, maybe they're at another event that I did and they just hear, oh, hey, you did this and, you know, whatever. So I think, you know, there's benefit depending on what your business is in maybe not charging your worth in the beginning. Because one, you're learning it, your worth, and then also other people are. And so until you've proven to yourself and to other people that you're worth that worth, like if I had gone in charging what I charge now, I probably wouldn't have the clientele that I have now. And I probably would have bitten off more that I could chew as well and not been able to deliver on that price tag, you know? And so I think, and depending on your profession, there is some benefit to
you have some wiggle room is, but what you cannot do is charge your comfortability, because that's what happened. We're charging because we think we don't know, but we do know, right? So because when you go in it, you're already uncomfortable. So you're charging to your comfortability. I'm not going to charge. No more will I ever charge again to my comfortability. I won't do that anymore because my comfortability is always uncomfortable already. So I'm already thinking, like you said, I never taught a meditation class, or not even talking about just anything. I haven't done this, and the other. And so what you do is you charge to your comfortability. And what happens is when you charge your comfortability, you stay stagnant and you stay there for a while.
And that's what I was nervous about.
And because you literally will stay there and be like, well, this is my comfortability until I learn this. And for a person like me, I don't know if other family members out there like me, I'm a huge researcher. And so because I'm a huge researcher, I will stay stagnant and I will stay there. I will research the heck out of something before I move on it.
Right.
So because that's comfortable for me.
Right.
So,
5 years later, you still doing
right, I'm still researching. So you still researching that same microphone. That's still microphone. That same microphone.
Right.
I'm gonna need you to just buy the microphone, sis.
I'm waiting for it to go on sale.
I'm waiting for it to go on sale. Exactly. That's seriously. Like it ain't on sale yet. I ain't gonna get it. You know. Listen, because even with, okay, I'm gonna give you for instance. Okay, for the podcast, when we first started, we got the little $20 microphones from Amazon, and I was content. St. Chance was doing the production. He was like, "This sounds horrible," but that's for our comfortability. That was our financial comfortability. That was our we ain't no real podcast comfortability. And so he couldn't hear nothing I said. Next thing I know, we up in the $100 microphones. Bruh, did you see that we just started the podcast, sis? Like, cause that's what we'll do in our comfortability. And then, but if you go back to our like first 10 little podcast, you will know that mic was $20. Like it got the $20 feel. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But I was like, let me research some more. Let me see the SPT5 microphone. I mean, I was like, and next thing I know, he was like, I'm over what you trying to do. Now I done looked at the SPT5. I know how much it costs. We're going to get it if this is what we're serious about doing. And if this is what we're branding for ourselves, if this is what we want for ourselves, we're going to have to brand it in a certain way. And I'm like, but does a microphone really brand it? Right. Like it doesn't. But it does make a difference. And I think that what I've learned from you guys, because I watch you both do what you do, and it does make a difference. Two things I know. I've watched you go over and above for your clients and give them more than what you set out to give them. I have helped her on some of her jobs, or even when she makes dinners, and it be over and above the thing be overflowing. Right.
Look at this babe.
Right. Look at this babe. Oh my God, yeah. She sure she only want 15. I mean, like literally, like you like, do you see how much food? This is like, this is. I'm feeding a family of 4. It be 7 of us, and we still got leftovers.
Portion size were amazing.
Exactly. I don't want you to stop for us. Don't stop your portion size for us. We like those portion sizes.
But that's part of my. Like that's something that's just part of. Like I literally know part of me. Like if it's like a meal for 4, and then like it's all gone, then I feel like okay, I did something wrong.
Yeah.
Like so for me, like something like that, I know that I give more.
Yeah.
You know, but that's I like for people to have leftovers. I like when I'm at an event, I always bring takeout containers now because I hate throwing away food.
Yeah.
I don't like
Take
wasting.
this with you.
So I'm always like, people, they won't do the plate with the aluminum foil, so you can take something with you.
Take you something with you.
I got to bring the containers because they're like, well, no, but somehow the containers make it easier.
The containers are sexier.
Right, they're sexier.
That white styrofoam is sexy.
Right.
Ooh, all I'll ever want to do is leave a wedding with a styrofoam bowl.
And I hate styrofoam. But even that, like I hate styrofoam. So for me, it's like I don't mind like extra.
Because
even you saying with the microphone. See, like I would have told you like, okay, don't buy the 20. So that's one thing I learned years ago. And I can't remember my cousin or something, but as far like I will reinvest in myself. Like I will buy I make whatever off a job. So a lot of it I reinvest. I I have a huge storage with lots of equipment. But like from the beginning, I'm just like, okay, while I'm in a position, because I've seen other cater and event people and they don't have their own inventory. You have to rent it. But I was like, I want my own stuff. So I will go and I'll spend the money on the item because you say you buy because what happens is just like it happened with you guys.
$20
you buy
microphone.
the cheap thing.
Right.
So that's one thing I don't skimp on. So it's like you buy something cheap or inexpensive.
Right.
Then you end up buying what you should have bought in the first place. So now you done spent the money on the inexpensive thing. And you spend the money on what you should have just bought in the first place.
But see, with that being said, now think about this. I want to just say this. If that's the case, then think about what you're doing to your services that you're giving people.
Honestly, I'm giving away free services, and they're no longer my clients, but I still check in with them.
See what I'm saying? Because if we're talking about, because we both all three agreed.
It's hard not to.
Right, we all three agreed that what we're buying is quality stuff. So therefore, you guys, what you're giving is quality. So we have to make that what you're charging match the quality. Because when the amount of y'all don't even want to see this storage unit. Let me just
look at the ham.
I don't even want to see this girl. This could be like, oh, I bought the heating bag. Yeah, it was $500. It's just gonna keep just one bag. I bought 3 because I want to keep them warm. Or the fact that you got a Mac and you got all these computer systems and you do Excel and you buy every app because
beautiful
you know that
office.
these things and this beautiful office it's sexy, ain't it? Chic.
Yes, it's very.
I said you better put these pictures out here with the sexiness, honey. But you're buying all of this quality stuff, and if you're purchasing that stuff at a high level, then you need to charge at a high. Does this make sense? Then you need to charge at a high level.
But it's hard.
It's hard
to accept and actually walk into that.
This is what I'm saying.
But you will get there. I promise you will. And I like I said, I totally get where you are because I think part of it is just her building the confidence in herself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And just realizing like, she just hasn't realized yet how valuable her services are because it's a ministry and that's how I was. It's just a passion. I would do it for free.
Right.
And so getting paid is like, wow, it's just a bonus, you know? And so
that's how I look at it.
Right. And I think that's the same thing with me,
Well, we're going to have to shake it off. We're going to have to shake it off.
But you will get there because I got there and it was just like, okay, because
and
it's
you're
like,
years in. I don't think I've let the people know. I just started in January.
But here's the thing. I think
you just started officially.
I'm about to say because I was about to change that. But I was like,
officially,
as long as I've known you years, you've been doing this, right? Yes. So you know what I'm saying. So I think that we have to shake some of that stuff off. I think we have to shake it off. And here's the thing. I'm not being hypocritical. As we're having this conversation, why I love having conversations with women about this because you're helping me build my own. You know what I'm saying? We help build each other up and though, okay, we've done it. It was cool, but now, because no one's ever gonna get there. I mean, I've talked to so many people about this and everybody's like, no, I haven't arrived yet because I'm still learning. I'm still trying new things. I'm still rebranding. I'm still thinking, you know what I'm saying? Like I'm still doing these different things and it's so difficult for you. And you be like, and also what I've learned too is you have to step away and have someone else take care of that part of it. See, what we're trying to do is take care of our finances ourselves. We're charging people ourselves. What we have to do is you have to go let someone else charge them, right? You got to go get you a assistant or somebody and that person do it for you because when people start getting too familiar with you and too connected to you, then what happens is...
And they mess with my coins. I ain't trying to share my coins.
No.
I don't want to lose the personal effect, but I hear what you're saying.
The personal effect, what I believe, is what you do for them. But the booking and the stuff needs to be somebody else because what I've learned is the people
something for you
who know you too familiar will try to now y'all all been there try to talk you down or talk for free discount.
I actually had a client do that and I did it.
You did what?
I went with what she had mentioned.
Oh, the discount. Mm-hmm.
We cannot negotiate.
I learned because so for me, supporting friends' business and stuff, it's just like this one thing I never do. I'm just like, no, because I know being a business owner myself is if they just offer and sometimes I'll even no, you don't have to give me a discount. I'll pay full price. Right. But I think, it's kind of again, getting to that place where my price is my price.
Right.
And then not,
it was hard for me to be like, that's my price because the 3-month had expired. So it was up to, her to continue. Mm-hmm. And I'm at that point, I didn't have a particular price for returning customers. Mm-hmm. It was just, I went up in price after, I guess, my grand opening.
Right.
And then that's when the negotiation.
They were used to the introductory offer.
And that's when the negotiation came in. So I thought about it.
Yeah.
And I prayed about it. I'm like, I don't want to lose them, but this is an opportunity to learn. Okay, this is the process of having an existing client or a recurring client, if you want to keep them.
And that's too is also getting to the point where you're okay not getting the job or them not signing you on. You know, you're just okay,
it's not your season.
No, my price is my price, or maybe this particular one is and I try to. So one of the things is I try to work with many budgets. It has to be reasonable, obviously. But so for me, that's part of my niche is just no matter the budget, you can, so if you tell me, I just want some bologna sandwiches and cheese and this is my budget. Again, if it's
I'm so
reasonable.
mad about the bologna sandwiches and
me,
cheese.
That's what you like.
But you want it fried? You want it fried or cold? How do you want it?
Right.
You want me to fry that or you want that cold on the bread?
For me, it's
cheese melted.
no matter the budget. So for me, it's I want it, because part of my thing is just honoring people and making them feel special. So like if you say, Angela, I want bologna sandwiches and chips and you know, hot dogs on whatever, like I'm going to have your guests come in and be like, they're gonna be the prettiest and fanciest and like, oh, you did this for me, Tiffany.
With this
you know,
hot
like
dog?
I want
My
so
baby
that's
shower,
kind of right. So yeah, and so like I just try to like no matter what, let you know. So we got to pull some decor from your house or whatever. So that's part of my fun in doing that, but also at the same time learning that I still need to honor myself.
Yeah.
You know, so in taking that. So I'm okay sometimes when I'm just like, I really want to work with you, but I just can't. Like
do it.
Like, so now I just have the conversations where, you know, your budget has to be at least this. You know, like I had somebody who were like, I want 4 proteins, 3 sides, a dessert, salad, and a roll, and my budget is $15 a person. And I was like,
I don't even know the scale of that, so I can't maybe like
so I lovingly said to them, I said, well, okay, just, you know, I'm not really sure how you guys charge and how this works. And I said, okay, so just visualize this. You walk into Applebee's, low cost restaurant, right? You say, I want steak, shrimp, chicken, and roast beef, and mashed potatoes. So you get 4 proteins, 3 sides, a salad roll. What do you think you would pay for that? You know, I said, now that's a restaurant. So now turn that around, that I'm a private caterer.
Right.
So I don't have a truck delivering food to me. I'm going out, I'm prepping, I'm shopping, I'm going to the, you know what I'm saying? This is individuals, you know, and
they don't really know all of that until you have
so they don't think about it. They just kind of think about like, oh, you know, you know,
it appears.
Go through a drive-through. Right. Like you can't even go through a drive-through and, you know, really, you know, I mean, you maybe Chick-fil-A, you might spend $15 at Chick-fil-A just getting a full meal and maybe a dessert. Right. Yeah, and so just like helping people like understand. So even for you with that client to just say, you know, helping people understand what it entails, and I don't think she meant to be offensive. Like she really just didn't get it.
She didn't get the process.
Like, you know, like and you know, getting stuff out of storage and setting up and tearing down and cleaning up and put everything back. I mean, it's a lot of work, you know. And I'm in a position now where I have a good amount of people, you know, that can work for me. You know, and so I've been able to, you know, expand, but then also that, you know, affects the price now because I have more people working for me. I'm not doing a lot of it myself. Right. And so, you know, you have to factor that in. But right now you're a party of one. Right. But you'll get to the point where, you know what, okay, I'm
I have an employee, my eldest is my quality assurance manager.
That's right.
He books.
I'm about to say, because he transfers
them to my calendar.
Yeah.
And
that's a tax thing that baby got going on right there. I already know. Yes, ma'am.
What is it, $12,000 a year, isn't it?
Let me explain something to you. What I'm so thankful for is because that you ladies are so transparent. Because there's a mother, a business owner, entrepreneur, a woman right now sitting in her kitchen going, oh my God, I need to reevaluate this whole thing. Maybe I'm not charging my worth. Maybe because as we're having the conversation, I'll say this to the family. So do not hear what we're not saying. We're saying that cater it to your individual because each individual. She's a catering. She's doing phys. We're doing podcasts and meditation. It's all going to be individual to how you handle it. But what we do want you to hear is you have got to charge your worth because I think we do not take into account what it takes to get there before we start the process.
And I think the hurdle is how.
Yeah.
Like they could be listening. I've been in this position.
Right.
Like, how do I go about finding out what my worth is?
Trial and error. Really? You just have to do it. You just have to start.
So am I like researching what other people are, or what they're charging in my field, and then scaling it that way?
Yeah. And also,
that's what I did.
What I do is I'm a stalker. So I will find out people who are doing what I'm. This with me and say, we find out what people are doing. They're doing it. Like we didn't know. Like for instance, for podcasters, Charlotte has a big family of podcasters out there. We go once a month to a podcasters meeting. Met people we had never. Where I came from, like I'm like wow, and they have panels, and they've taught us so much about podcasting, right? Sometimes we got to go out there, and what our niche is, we don't want to take anything they're doing, but ask the questions like, hey, like what are you doing? How do you charge? It may not be, you may get one thing from that, right? Because when we go to these podcasts, I mean, we get 4-5 because we new in the game, we're still babies, and they've been in the 4-5. They got affiliates and sponsors, and I'm like, what the, you know, and so, but we don't go in like babies, like, oh, you know, we don't go like we know anything, but we're not going to go in babies too, because I want to hear what you have to say. So even for you, like, are people for a financial advisor, if they're charging $75 an hour or $17 an hour? What is that looking like? What does the research part? Because I think this is where the money gets lacked.
What are you getting for that?
What for the research part alone? How many hours? Because the goal is to charge for how many hours you do the research before you even get to them, right? And so maybe just finding people, and this is for the family, finding people who are doing your niche and just talking to them and asking them questions. And baby, let me explain something to y'all. This social media, you could go right now and they got a Facebook page for that. You'd be like, I'm a jogger. Put in jogger, about 50 Facebook jogging. Black girls jogging, white girls jogging, Asian girls are jogging, Christian girls are jogging, Catholics are jogging. You know what I'm saying? So we have this information at our fingertips, right? But I think I promise you, this is the thing that I want everybody to hear my heart, even what Angela was saying. Every person I talk to, they do not charge for the beginning process. Like you just said, my gas to go get this stuff. We normally, the people, I'm just saying, this is what I hear. They normally charge for the cooking part of it, the food they buy, the prepping, but they don't charge. People charge for the getting. For me, I'm not going to charge a meditation. Ain't nothing to get together. Just come on and sit down. You know what I'm saying? So for me, that wouldn't work, right? You know, but it's what I'm doing. But for you guys, y'all are doing so much to get to that place. And there's so many family members out there that is doing so much just to get to that, and then mad because, like, hey, wait a minute.
And I think you have to learn, like, how, like, so for me, I was doing, like, okay, but again, it was trial and error. So I would make notes of, okay, this, how many people, say, 200 people, and this was the menu, and this and that. So I would literally take notes on how much time I spent shopping. Did I go through a whole gallon of gas? I mean, a whole tank of gas. And so I would just, but I had to learn because I didn't know.
Right.
I read and I researched, but I had to see my end, so I would just like take notes of all those things and just like, okay, so if I have a 200 person event with a menu similar to this, I spend 60 hours from start to finish for prepping and shopping and then clean up and set up and all this other stuff.
What it looks like.
How much do I want to pay myself hourly? You know what I'm saying? So if I want to say, if I want $50, $75 an hour, whatever it might be, then it's just like, okay, so I need to make sure, and then food cost, and then employee, and then my kitchen rent, and my storage unit, and my insurance, because I have insurance and gotta have that. And so I factor all that in and say, okay, so when I'm done with this, and what does that come out per person? Is it along industry standards? Is it too high? Is it too low? And so, so I think, but again, it's part of the learning process.
It's the learning and the individuality
the
of
advice that you
it.
gave me to jot down like how much time I'm spending with prepping for a client.
Like so whatever
client.
Determine. So you say Tina, like, okay, I've spent 5 hours with Tina this week.
That would be hard because even though I have a set price, which is a package price, but within that price is basically charged by the hour. But our weekly meets and in between communication,
and that's what you got to take note of.
So much,
you have to
start taking just just a little journal, and just every time you talk to her or look at your call log and just say, okay, Monday, 15 minutes, and just kind of see every client that you have, how much time you spend with them weekly, and then do
I communicate
the math.
a lot with my clients.
Right. So, but take note of all that, and then you'll begin to prune things, and okay, maybe too much of this, a little less of that, and then that will help you in the going forward to say, even in your marketing, hey, you're whatever, on average, I'm giving you 10 hours of my maybe that's too much, but I'm giving 10 hours of my time to you every single week, so that they can put it in perspective of why they should choose your service over somebody else's. Because I'll tell people, like, yeah, you can go to another caterer, and you know what they're going to do? They're going to show up with some disposable chafing dishes, throw your food on the table, throw some plastic forks and whatever. And it's just like, I charge what I charge because you're not going to, and I'm sure there's somebody out there that does it like me, but for the most part, it's like, I don't just throw food on the table.
Same here.
And so people started to see the difference between, when we had this caterer, she doesn't do it like Angela, or he doesn't do it like Angela does.
I feel like excellence is just my top.
Right. And that's the thing, to have a standard, right? And so once you have that standard, then at that point you'd be like, here's my package. So, and I think too, we have to stand our ground. So if your package said that that your bronze special, like you had a bronze, I don't know, I'm just making this up
Just
as
a
I go.
flat package.
Yeah, you have a bronze package. Well, this bronze package allows you to speak to me 2 times out of it. You know what I'm saying? Because I think you have to set the expectations for the people. It's just what it is. And I think that you're doing such an incredible job now. You just have to rebrand what you're doing. We all, by next year, we all going to be rebranded again. By 2023, be like, no, let's change. Right. Let's change some stuff. So let me ask you another question. Yeah. And I hope family just like, listen, they transparent. They're giving you all the gems. They taking you behind the veil and telling you what they really feel, what business is really about, and how it really works. So let me ask you a question. How does this work with your family though? Like, of course I know both of you guys, so I know, but how does it work with your family? Because there's time away from the family. There's time away from the family. Is a family all like your son is a part of it? Are you bringing the family to making them involved to make sure that you guys are cohesive? So how does that work for you?
In the beginning, I had to communicate a lot with him because I had him as in my husband. I had to determine my office hours when I booked clients. It was a little tricky because we weren't really communicating, because it was like, hey, I have a session, or I have a client that I need to talk to. Okay. We had to get on one accord, which is getting a calendar, a shared calendar. So whenever I would have a session, I put it on the calendar, and then I would try to verbally tell him, hey, this is a time away that I have to block. So I need you to take care of the kids. So in the beginning, it was a little rocky, and just being sure that I can accommodate what he wanted, because my business is after hours. I still work full time. So I have a few hours after the day, and there's things that he wants to do, after work. So then I really had to fine tooth my business hours. So even though I have my business and I want to serve my clients and be open, I still have to accommodate with my husband and, for the kids. So in the beginning it was a little bit rocky. Right now I feel like we're in a good space and we communicate more. When it comes to communicating in between sessions, as far as my family, because I'm very, very responsive, and I feel like at times I may need to pull back when it comes to that, but I'm just so hands-on.
Have some office hours.
Yeah, I'm working on that. I struggle with that part. I need to do better. But I love doing what I'm doing. And there's times I get questions during my, full-time job. And then there's times when I'm getting questions when, we're out with the kids, and here I am, quickly responding. So I could tell that was getting in the way of what I was doing with either my job or with my family. So I had to do some thinking there. But like you said, rebranding. So that's coming in the near future. So I'm still learning. I'm afraid
we all are. If we're not learning, then there's a problem.
Yeah.
Because things change too quickly for us not to keep learning. How about you? How does it work with the family? How does it?
So for sure, it's a family affair. I drag them in whenever I can from the very beginning. So yeah, they've all worked for me. I catered this morning for a pickleball tournament, and Daniel was right. Yeah, I woke him up 4 o'clock this morning.
Hello, excuse me. Please call on me. My hand is raised.
Yes.
What was it?
A pickleball tournament. It's like this new craze. I don't want to talk
Okay,
about
carry on. Okay, I just want you to say it again. I just want you to just hear what you have to say, but carry on.
Tournament. So, and I had my sweet husband 4 o'clock this morning. We were in the car driving to the kitchen. So he was there with me. So I try to drag them in. Drag. Kicking and crying. My daughter was working with me yesterday, Alexandra, and I said, "Oh, you want to come to the kitchen with me? I have to prep." And she's like, "Am I getting paid?"
Right?
Like, yes, of course. She was kind of like it all depends whether I'm getting paid or not. And that's another thing too, is like with people ask me, do you have a hard time finding people? Because now it's hard to find staff and people to work for you. And so I tell people nowadays, you have to pay people well. So I don't, because I do pay well. So that's something. But, I also, if I'm paying you well, I have expectations.
Exactly.
But I always try to help people set up whatever to win. But yes, so it's a family affair because I still homeschool. I still consider myself a full-time homeschooling mom. And and this the catering and events is something I can pick and choose. Like, okay, yeah, I'm available. No, I'm going to the beach this week, or so it does give me that sort of freedom to, whereas like you have clients that you have to answer to. So I can kind of pick and choose that. But yeah, they've incorporated into it and stuff, and I always keep reminding this is a family business. I don't know if they've caught on to that yet. They still look at it like, Mom, that's your thing, right? Okay?
That's not mine. It's your thing.
This is your baby.
The Lord told you, Mom. I don't remember him calling me on the phone like we're going to cater. I don't remember that.
I told her, I was like, don't you want to take over you could do marketing, because she's going to college for marketing. I'm like, you can. She's just like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
So I'm still working on her though.
It's so difficult to get the family involved. Okay, like I had to fire Morgan, my daughter. She was supposed to be she was supposed to be doing social, and she was like,
I would love someone for social.
Listen, she like, because me and Sanchez are not really good at social, right?
No,
we're not. We're just not good people. And so she was doing a really she was like morning. She would have something at lunchtime, and like Zenta. I was like, yeah. And then one day I didn't see anything in the morning. Didn't see anything at lunch. Didn't see anything at dinner. And she was like, and I was like, I'm about to fight. She said, oh no, don't. Oh, you didn't get the quit message? I was like, you quit? She's like, she was like, Mom, she was like, it's too much. I just don't want to do it. And then she's like, and then I got to lissisten to the podcast. I live with you. Right. You guys are a walking message. So I don't really want to listen to the podcast, figure that out, put it on your page. She was like, I just cannot.
It's a lot.
It's a lot. Even with our introduction music that we have to the podcast, and the introduction music to, After Dark is our son. We had to hound him. We had to, hey son. He's like, Mom, I'm in the studio. I said, well, how much do I need to pay you to get what we need?
Money talk.
Right. Like I don't want it for free, bruh. I really want, or my daughter-in-law, she takes pictures. I'm like, can I get someone so it's like you really, so I wanted, and I was like, we had Morgan on the show. We had two of them on the show. The two oldest one was like never and ever in a lifetime. Because I would like to get us all on as a family just one time. They have told me absolutely y'all are a walking message. Why would I talk to y'all about what we hear since we've been kids? I don't want the message, right? I know finances should be right. Yes, I know my mind should be right. Yes, I know I should be praying. Yes, I know so I don't want it. So it's for us, it's like, it's just me and Sanchez. And the family like we want new music to see. I'm probably going to have to go sit in the studio with him and be like, because he has a studio, I have to go to his and be like, hey, come on, bro. Because he'd be like, because what happens is with family is their family. So that's that familiar side that I keep talking about, right? And so they're so familiar with you that they don't intentionally don't take it seriously, but they don't take it seriously. No, right? All. They think it's like a hobby. No. It's not a hobby. This is the legacy. This is the real deal. And so when people ask me, that's why I was asking you guys about family. I'm like, I don't know. They love me and Sanchez. They know what we do, right? But to them, what we do, they grew up with it. So it's not impressive.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember my mom hurting my feelings. Like, oh my God, I should go in there and tell her about herself right now. I was, I was on the radio. I was on the radio for 2 years actually, called the Youth Code. Yeah, it was called the Youth Code. And so I had like this 2-minute segment where parents would the week before they would send in questions, and then I would go on behind the mic and I would answer these questions for them. And so I would do it. So I was so excited. I called my mom and whatever. And I'm like, Mommy, and did it. And she was like, but you only get 2 minutes.
It'll grow, Mama.
Listen, what in all the world, right? So I was like, really? But at that point for her, it was like, okay, right? So what I'm telling the family members out there that listen to us right now is not that your family don't love you, but what it is they don't understand it, number one. And it's not that they don't want to support you, but they just think it's your hobby, it's your thing, right? And so don't because sometimes we'll get so offensive and so angry, but it's just what it is, right? It's like, exactly. Mom, you always been cooking, Mom.
Right. It's nothing new.
You do so. Where if you call me one more time about a finance and a bill and a trip, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, so the family around us is like, but this is who you guys are. Not understanding that this is the business of it, right? We took what we love and we made it a business, right? And so what I want the family out there, everybody who's listening, take what you love and make it a business. Everybody doesn't need to be an entrepreneur. Everybody doesn't have to be one. And we're okay with that. But the ones that do, just don't get so offended when your family does not immediately come on board. Right. Because a lot of times when our family, that's why I asked the question, because a lot of times when our family don't come on board, we will stop. Because we feel like, well, if the family's not supporting me,
right.
if my man ain't supporting me, if my kids ain't supporting me, then what am I doing? What am I doing it for? You're doing it because that's your gifting, that's your talent, that's the gift that God is giving you. They will follow suit when they need to follow suit, and it's okay. And sometimes, family, let me help y'all. Whew. Ooh, how do I say this? Say this. Your family don't need to be in your business.
Yeah. Not always.
Not always. Sometimes you just got to keep them on the sideline and let them cheer from the bleachers. They don't need to be if they want to. They don't need to be on the field with you. Right? Because sometimes if they don't have the same vision, it becomes a distraction. It will dry you out. It will depress you. And you don't even know that it's so subtle that you don't even know it's happening. And I've heard this time and time again. It's like, yeah, my sister's helping me, but we're making cakes. I'm just use cakes. We're making cakes and I'm passionate about this, but she putting the frosting on any kind of way because it's not her passion. It's not her vision. God did not give it to her. So she may not want to give it the level of excellence that you want to give it. Doesn't mean she don't know how to be excellent. She know how to be excellent in her arena. This is not her arena. So if you don't have a family member that's in the same arena with you, I need you to put them on the bleachers. Okay. I'm going to need them to take a whole lot of seats.
Part of it too is
yes.
like, it's kind of like if like I know a lot of famous people I've known for, just met, and it's like, okay, I'm not, when you know somebody, like you're just like, oh, they're just regular,
right?
And they are,
and so, they are.
But then somebody else will be like, oh my gosh, that's so and so. You're like, oh, okay,
it's my cousin,
because they just you just don't see it, because you just see them as a regular person.
Exactly.
So I think that's what happens with our families is, we're in this like business and we're building success or whatever, and I find that usually family is the least supportive as far as like becoming clients or what I'm saying. They are literally
somebody
the least support. They won't listen to the podcast. They
come
won't
on
ask
now.
you about
I'm gonna
finances.
come on, sis. Come on, sis.
And so you find that strangers and friends
come on,
whatever are more supportive than anything.
Come on.
You get in your feelings like, oh, y'all quick to post about Beyonce's new sneakers or CD. Well, we promote people we don't know.
They want to support
because but I think because in their mind it's like they don't even look at it that way. In their mind they're just, oh, that's a Tiffany. Oh, Tiffany little side hustle. Because they don't really see it or appreciate it.
Right.
But like it get like for instance like Alexandra, she just came back from she took her summer intern. They had a trip to Philly last week. And so she came home and she said, oh, Mom, the caterer they had, she's like, oh, Mom, it was just like she came, was like, oh, you would have blew it out of the water. Oh, it was just so like it was horrible and just kind of like, so it was the stuff she was saying, it was like she started to appreciate me and like what I do and the business and just so it comes, but it just like takes time for them to kind of, see it, whatever. And, then some of them want to get with you when you all glowed up. And they're like, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you.
I don't got no problem with cutting them tomatoes for you, sis.
Right. Like,
Tiffany, let me print this Excel sheet, Mom.
You had to wait till you saw the Tesla before you could support me.
Let me go to the post office and deliver your financial book. You'll be like, what?
I would share these facts. This is where I started, and now I'm here. Oh, really? How did you get there?
I've been telling you guys.
Does that not? Is that okay? Let me. This is where I don't understand. Do you know how insane that is? That you because I love finances. I do not like to cook. The devil is a lie. I don't want to even front. I'm a box girl myself. If y'all heard the recent podcast from Sanchez telling the people that I put the frozen franks in the oven. So y'all already know where I live at, family.
Pour the water over.
But it's insane that I have given you all the tools. Like you literally can take the key and go in the shed and get any tool that you want, and you don't do it. Then out of the blue one day, you done spoke to Sarah. And Sarah done gave you an epiphany. And then you come to me like this is some brand new information. And I'm looking at you like, boy, the toolbox. You literally have the key. You don't even have to ask nobody for a screwdriver. You could go take the key, go in the shed, and have 15 screwdrivers. And somebody on outside of the shed done gave you something, and you acting like they done gave you the greatest news. And it was you. And I'm gonna be very transparent. That was so hurtful. It was so hurtful at first. And then I was like, Angela, you have to understand that their ears are numb to you. They know your voice. They hear your voice. They get your voice. So your voice is going in. Not that they don't understand and don't respect it. That is not what's happening. But they're numb to it at this point. So whatever you say to them,
about marriage now.
Listen, it's not. It's you know what? But it doesn't sound like. But it doesn't sound like it's new news. It doesn't sound like it's a new voice. So a new voice. When they hear the new voice, it's a new voice they've never heard before. Now the information is old, but the voice is new, and that's the difference.
That part I don't get.
That's it, because we do it too. Don't.
I just don't get that.
No, girl. Let me explain something to you. If I'm going through something, like say we going through something. If I'm going through something with Sanchez. But he's perfect, y'all. I just want y'all to know, amen. He's perfect. And he said, not
even then.
Right. Okay, my baby. So, and me and him have a conversation, and he said something to me that I felt was offensive, right? And then I go, let's say if I go tell me and you, we sit down and I tell y'all that, and you go, but Angela, what he's saying is this, and this is why he's saying it.
Different perspective,
right? But saying
maybe the tone,
maybe
you're saying
the same thing, but somebody else is saying it,
right?
So you can hear the other part. Oh, that's happened to me many a time,
right? And I'm looking like, and I'm like, okay, and I get it now. When I go home to him, I'm saying, okay, I get it now. And he was like, well, what made you get? And then I say, y'all two, and he looking at me like, what? How, Sway? How? I said the same thing. You know what I'm saying? But
sometimes how you said it. It's my favorite term.
Not even how you say it, but how the perspective. Because here's the thing: even in school, you can't teach cookie cutter education to students because everybody don't learn the same way, right?
Very true.
So even in a marriage and a relationship or anything that you do, because we don't learn the same way, I heard what he said, but right now that's personal. What if I go to Angela, it's not personal, right? So I'm trying to help you, family, with this. What you're taking personal because you're in your business and your family's not supporting you is really not personal. It is just familiar. You're a familiar person to them. So for that, they can't even understand what you're talking about. So it doesn't make a difference.
We're talking about finances. It's just it's cut.
But it's coming. But it's coming from you. But it's coming from you though, and sometimes it's so difficult. Again, we're talking about familiar and taking familiarity and taking for granted. Okay, understand the thought process. I'm familiar with you. If me and you was cousin Tiffany, we wouldn't have fell out. I'm gonna tell you that right now because I love fantasy just as much as you, but not as deep as you do, right? So when I'm trying to talk to you and tell you something, and you like, no, but had you did this credit card, I'm gonna punch you in the face. I'm just gonna be honest, right? Because you my cousin.
Okay, it clicked. Okay.
Does that make sense? Because you're my cousin. I don't feel like now if Angela like, girl, you need to go. I'll be like, oh, really? Because is that the credit card? Because it's a different voice, and it's so it doesn't.
And I'm less intimidating,
right?
So for you, it just might be, just I guess envy. Direct. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a certain amount I think with especially with what you do and how that presents in your personal life. Mm-hmm. There could be a little bit of envy, a little bit of jealousy, crept in there a little bit because it's just kind of like who she thinks she is.
I remember when.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's what I was feeling, but that's
right.
I remember when.
So again, but it doesn't matter. So then maybe family's just not your client. Maybe families just, like you just don't, and again, like I said, I think I see that across the board where like your biggest supporters are strangers and friends.
It's crazy.
And not that your family's like, not whatever, but they're like, it's Tiffany.
It's Tiffany. It's Angela.
It's Angela.
It's Angela. It's Angela Anagho. Right. It's Angela Crenshaw. It's like her.
Then you get to that point, you're like, oh, okay, you're really doing things, aren't you? You know what I'm saying? Then you're just like,
because now they're seeing you. Then now you're not Tiffany. Everybody's calling you Miss Newkirk. Understand the process, right? So to your family, you're Tiffany, but when you're on a podcast like this, or you're out there doing your thing and you're in corporate America and they're calling you Miss Tiffany, that's when they see you clicks. This is Miss Tiffany. This is Miss Tiffany.
Serious.
It's the real deal, because sometimes people can't see you until other people see you, right? And
very
here's
true.
the crazy part about it. We can't be hypocritical because we do that ourselves
Right.
sometimes,
Yeah, that's what I
even
said.
with our
Very
own
true.
children. You know what I'm saying? Like I
Just someone else taking notice.
you know what I'm saying? Somebody else say, but like, he is so gifted. I know. He's so and they be like, I know somebody, and you be like, okay, and next thing you be like, here's the thing. With the one that does the music for us, dancing was his thing. Everybody knew him for dancing. And one day he came home and said, I'm not going to college. I don't want the scholarship, but I'm not doing it. I'm going to do music. Boy, I never heard you hum. We're and then he brings out these books with all of these songs that he'd been writing for so long. But had I been paying attention, to be honest, I would have knew that, because I want him to do this one thing and I want him in this one dance pocket, because that's what we've been doing all the time. Saying, just gonna kill me by hitting this microphone, y'all.
Keep hitting that mic.
But because I wanted him to dance, because that's the pocket I put him in for so long, right? That when he went to this, I was upset about it because that was foreign to me. We're foreigners to our family. Do understand that they know you cook, they know you know finances, they know I talk, but when they see it in a different arena, it is foreign. And so it's very difficult to deal with our foreign selves and our family. They don't get it, right? And so and I hope we're helping some family, because it's the truth. So we get so hurt, but like, everybody support me but my family. That is the most hurtful thing. But here's the thing: right now, you're a foreigner today. They don't know how to support. They know how to support Tiffany, but they don't know how to support this Tiffany. They don't know how to support this Angela. Because what does supporting this particular Angela who owns this catering business entail? What about her? Because see, if a family member could try to come help her, you're going to have to listen to her. You got to do what she say, how she say it, when she say it, and how she say it. Some family members ain't ready for that. You understand what I'm saying? They're not ready. That's why they got to be on the bench. Some families don't want you to know that they broke, busted, and disgusted, because now they got to do a budget because you said it. Right.
And now you know their business.
Now you know their business, right?
Spirit, yeah.
Right. And so now and they thinking you judging when you just trying to really get them out. You're not judging, you jump starting, but they don't understand the process of that, right? Right. So when I'm telling family members, I know this thing that I'm telling you to be so. If you do this thing, right? And here's the catch-all, because we've been up here an hour and 15 minutes. But let me say this.
We can keep on
Here's the catch-all, the be-all. It is so dangerous also, because they're looking at you going, you telling me all this, but where are you? Because normally what we're doing,
I show my receipts.
Listen, but what happens is while we're doing this thing, we are also living it too, right? As we're doing it. And a lot of times people be like, okay, I hear what you're saying, but, right? And then, and here's the thing, and that's fine too. That's why we got to know who is like a boxing match. I need to know who I need to sit on the sideline, and I need to know who's gonna be my bucket person, my water person, my wipe my sweat person, and that's who I need in my corner. And if it's not my family, that's okay too. But just know that my family will still benefit from it. But that doesn't mean they need to be in the corner with me. Does that make sense? And
right.
You know what I'm saying? And you got to be so okay with that. And I hope, family, that makes sense for you too, because I think a lot of people, and why I asked about the family, because a lot of entrepreneurs want to bring their family along too, and it's they're draining them, because it's like, if it's not their vision and their passion, and they don't believe in the vision and the mission, it's okay to have them sit down and get someone who does. You right? Because everything is seasonal, right? You know, everything is absolutely seasonal. What's the hardest thing, besides charging in family? What is one of the hardest things about being an entrepreneur, about being in business for yourself?
Right now, for me, I would say obtaining clients. Like all my clients, I want to say I've had 4. They've graduated. But right now I'm trying to recruit, and I feel like I need to be more on social media. But I feel like I'm kind of lagging in marketing myself right now. Not only that, when I got pregnant, I'm pregnant, y'all.
Oh, and by the way, I'm with child. Listen,
she got a lot of kids.
She works. She has her own business, and she's pregnant. Come on, my boo doing her thing, honey. My boo doing her thing.
Yes, baby number 4. But
in 4 years,
during my stop.
It was not in 4 years. Anyway, go ahead, girl.
During my first trimester, it just completely took me out, and I just felt like I was on a path to like really working on my business as far as getting certified and applying and doing things of that nature. And then it just tanked because I was in my first trimester, and it completely took me out.
Right.
So I was struggling with that. Now I'm in my second trimester and I have, more energy. So it's like, okay, I need to get on the ball with social media. I keep going back to like social media. Like I just feel like that's the way to market, I guess. I'm not sure.
And client refer your previous clients. You can give them some kind of incentive if they refer somebody that signs on to you.
That's good too.
Then you can, hey, if you refer, then you get whatever.
And I also believe that whoever God wants to, work with me, He will send them. I'm a firm believer, and that's how He got all started. Because I wasn't sure, when I was going to actually start it. And the next thing you know, someone's in my inbox asking me to help them, and I'm like, okay, let's just go ahead and do this.
Right.
But you already put yourself out there for corporate America to teach and do things like that. And right now, what's going on right now, a lot of schools are doing financial literacy. Like there's a couple of high schools here in Charlotte, correct, that I think that they're starting to do it now, that they want them to have that.
I know it's in Florida. I've heard it in Florida, but I haven't heard it.
I'm gonna look it up. We research everything.
But I would love to do.
But offer it. Offer the. You can go to any high school and offer your services, and offer your services. Remember we talked about the 3 hours of free ministry that you just so want to give so bad.
Like the group, like the time I did with you guys,
right?
Which
I absolutely love. Which I love.
And you can apply for grants.
Yeah,
like through Goodwill and places like that, where you teach women who are trying to get back on their feet or families.
Crisis assistance ministry.
And you can apply for grants to provide that service to underserved communities.
I like that.
Yeah, just there's so much out there. I think another thing that I would say before I go to you, Angela, is I noticed that we will put ourselves in a box. Like when people get out of nursing school, the only thing they can think about is working in a hospital. But they're traveling nurses. They're nurses in school. You have to open up your, right? So corporate America, schools, crisis assistance. God got so much for you, honey, because you are such a blessing in that area that they will pay you. You will get grants and people will pay you. I declare and decree that thing in the name of Jesus for you. Seriously, because that's how good you are. Seriously.
I received
Did
that.
Did you just shout, Angela? What is happening over there?
Feeling it too.
What's the hardest thing that has been being an entrepreneur?
For me, well, I'm a lady of leisure.
What do you get, Angela?
I don't know. You always
I was gonna say she never home, but if she say so, we gotta just let her talk. Go ahead, Angela. Where are you? I'm at the Island of Palms this week. How long do you think I'm going to be there for a week?
A month.
Right. Where are you? I'm in Ghana. I'm in Ghana. And so I don't think too. And then if you're not doing that, then it's like, I got 15 jobs. I'm going to go do a wedding. I'm doing a baby shower. I'm doing a catering. I'm doing the church. So I don't know how much leisure, right? So carry on. What's your leisureness?
So that's the hardest thing is like, because I like vacations and exploring the world and doing things. And so it's for me, it's like the learning, like to like, I have to go hard, because I like, sometimes I'm like, with any business, you're like, I don't feel like it. I love it, but I don't, because I know like all the work, but I find like the more prepared I am and like my list and I pre-prep and then it's less stressful. But for me, it's just kind of like, I know this might sound bad, but the working hard part,
like you want me literally the Bible says that I would not sweat. The word of God says I will not sweat and work. Now I don't know what everybody else is doing, but I'm going on God's word. I will not sweat and work.
Right. So for me, that's kind of like, okay, you can do it. You can do it. You can do the hard thing. So that's like, and of course not every job, but so for me, it's like kind of like, oh, I really want to be at the beach right now, but I have some couple things coming. So, that sort of sacrificing and like, okay, but finding that balance. But that's how I'll do. I'll be like at the beach, I'll be here. And then I'm like, okay. And then I'll have like back to back to back to back to back. And then I'm like, okay. But I purposely say, okay, I just had like 2 weeks of like back to back stuff.
It's time to work.
And then I'm like, okay, time to head to the beach, time to take a, recoup, recover,
right?
Get my monthly massage, and then I'm ready to go hard again.
But
that's the beauty of my business, that it's structured that way that I can like back-to-back events, and I'll do this and that, and then I'll say, oh, sorry, close this week.
And and I think it goes to what kind of business that you're trying to do, right? Because it depends on the business, you can do that. Depends on what. Okay, saying sorry, just hit that mic. What you want to do. I think too, there was I think it was the Budgetnista. She was telling a story about this guy who sells soup in New York. I think it was her, I'm not for sure. And how there was certain times, just going to get into finances just for a few minutes and then before we go, but he's only open from a certain time to a certain time. Also here in Pineville, it's a donut shop across the street from Pineville
MJ?
Elementary. Yes. They only open.
They're my favorite donuts.
Listen, but they are only open.
They're open. I don't like, but I get it.
Yes.
I get it.
Now, the reason why they do it this way is because they have figured out, they've mastered how much they need to make per month. Now, listen to this. I was blown away. Per month, right? So once they make that per month, they're going to close the store. So they realize they don't have to be open from 8 to 5 all day. Right. They realize they don't have to do that. They realize that. So when she was Budgetnista, I think it was, I'm pretty, if it's a Budgetnista and I'm wrong, sorry, Tiffany. I'm sorry if it wasn't you, but whoever told the story, but he said he wanted quality time with his family. So he knew how much he would have to sell per month, per week, or whatever the case is, so that he didn't have to do this every day. So he wasn't open like Monday. He was like open like a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. He done. He made his block of money and he knew. And what I believe is that's when you as an entrepreneur, you got to know your number. So you can have financial wholeness, right? So then you can say that I won't kill myself. So if I need to make $5,000 for the month, I'm going to go hard for that $5,000. And I'm going to make sure, but after that, it's a cutoff. I need a break. And I think sometimes the word has made us think, we need to go hard, keep going, get more. But you need to know what your life number is. For what number is it financially that you want to acquire to live the life that you want to live? And if it's $5,000 a month, go hard and make the $5,000.
That's sort of what I do.
And then go do your thing. Does that make sense?
It does, and it kind of hits home for me because, like I said, I'm full time. So I have corporate America, I have benefits, incentives, and things of that nature, and then I have my business on the side. Right. Eventually, I would want to be 100% in my business. So the question is, what's that transition? Right. What is my number?
What is your number?
And in order for me to get to that number at the rate that I am right now, overwhelming.
Right.
Very overwhelming.
But that's just because you're thinking one-on-one clientele.
Right.
You haven't really explored.
We talking about regional, national,
like
Tiffany.
A one-time gig a month.
Which is why I'm certified, because
Exactly.
certified brings me working with other businesses.
Exactly.
Bringing contracts. And that's like entire different scale.
Because what if, Tiffany, what if you're not called to one-on-one? What if God called you to...
That just hurt.
What if God is saying you can still do one-on-one, right? But I need you to do there's a masses that, so you can still do one-on-one and that's what you do because that's your baby, right? But what I need you to do is do the masses, because right now financially people need you. Right. The masses need you. Corporate America needs you, right? I'm not trying to be morbid, but people are and they're not even talking. People committing suicide right now. The depression level is crazy. And you would think because there's so many jobs out here, but people right now are not passionate about what they're doing. And so in order for them to get passionate about what they're doing, they need to be a life specialist, like Angela over here. I'm a life specialist and live your life. But in order to do that, you need to know your number. Right. In order to do that, you need to know what you're going after. You need to know those things. And I didn't learn that for a long time. And I sat down. I was like, okay, if this is really the life that you want, and you saying that you need $5,000 a month, right? And you saying
Make
that
it 15. Make it 15.
Right.
15.
5 is not enough.
5 the month I don't need. It's 15. Okay. Up my number. Inflation. Okay. Inflation. Thank you. Well, $15,000 a month is what I need. Then that means, sis, that you're going to have to work real hard. Let's say if I'm doing meditation, that means that you're going to businesses and doing meditation if you want this number, because 1-on-1 ain't going to get it. Right. So you're doing group meditations. You know what I'm saying? You're doing meditations for retreats. Like this thing had to open me up and going, you're just leaving yourself to right here when if the Father said that everything belongs to him and I'm his daughter, then that means all this land that we have full dominion. So if I have full dominion, then why am I not taking the steps to take what he said that belongs to me? Absolutely. And I have to keep talking to myself like you just see, and I thank y'all for that. You see how I just said 5,000, but my sister was like, oh baby, it's inflation. I'm able to hit that 15,000 a month. You see what I'm saying? I think that's what I wanted to, family, I just needed you to hear the hearts of these ladies, and that it's not easy. We're not saying it's easy, but what we saying, it is possible. It is possible, and it can happen. You just have to put in the work, know your worth, put in the work, and take it slowly. You don't have to be quick enough, because we know we don't have to have it, because most people like me will research and don't do it. I'm telling you, even if you don't know all the answers, what I've learned, if you start, I promise you, God will give you answers. It's like. Right, and you will learn so much doing it than you will do researching it. Right,
and failure.
Yes, like, it is. It's so good.
Exactly.
So good.
And let me just say, because I know we said 15,000, but like honestly though, for somebody, if it's $500, like if for you that's a start, then let it be that 500.
Exactly.
Because of course every industry is different. Like for me as a caterer, 500 is.
Right, of course.
But again, depending on, but like seriously, if you still like you're still working full time, so if you're still just trying to get started, and if making 500 on your side hustle is success for you, and that's okay, I've consistently made 500 for 3 months now. Now I'm going to bump it up to 1,000 or 750. So again, I know we said 15, but I don't want to make it seem like it's this lofty, like it has to be some high number, but because it's these small wins that keep you motivated, that keep you moving when you feel like okay. It's not much, but it's something.
And I'm starting.
And that's one of the things that my husband and I did when we first started budgeting. Like I had a goal. And so whenever we reach that goal, bump it up.
Right. Then you just push
it up. That's it. Bit by bit.
Yeah. That one.
And I just want to say we're going to have a part 2 because I have so many questions for you, Angela.
Oh, really?
I can't ask now because we've gone too long.
We had an hour and a half. Okay. My God.
I'm not going to. Or
this hour and a half. Ladies, you guys are amazing family. Let me tell you something. We will have part 2. We're going to have Lady A in the building. When she feels better, we're going to have her come in on this or whatever the case is. I just really think that I'm just going to find a videographer. And I'm just gonna have about a good 8 women, and we just need to be in this space. We got a lot of microphones, and just really let's talk about it. I think that there's so much more to this that is even deeper than what we're talking about, right? Just who we are and what we believe in and what we do and how. And I want a group of women. This has been my life. I want a group of women that are going for the gusto. That does not. I want women who. When you I have a podcast with her name is Renee. Whatever God tell her, she run. She don't even care. She like, if I fail, I fail, but I don't want to fail God, right? And if it don't work, that just means this wasn't supposed to work right now. And I know that I have a group of women in my circle. I know for sure that feels the same way because everybody that's in my circle, we go gun ho and just see what the end gonna be. It's gonna be good. Right. It's gonna be bad, right? And so I know Angela's like, she got so much for me. So let me get off this mic because she's like, I just want to ask you. We're not.
I'm not. We're not. Listen, we have to listen to this like 20 minutes here, 30 minutes here.
We are not family. Oh my God, family. Thank you guys for hanging in there with us, listening to this. This has been a phenomenal conversation, and we are not done. We must, and we shall have a part 2. So listen, family, once again, pulling out my paper. Y'all see me with my paper, honey.
Can I didn't see that paper.
You did?
Can I just final words?
Yes.
I know you and Sanchez. Since I'm a guest, I would like final words.
I was waiting for it.
I'm so sorry. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And what's your final thoughts, Angela?
My final thoughts. That's right. Final thoughts.
Final thoughts.
So just for people thinking about it, just start. Do it afraid.
Yeah.
And do your homework. And homework means like do your due diligence.
Yeah.
YouTube videos, Google, books, talking around. I've had too many people come to me who wanted to start a catering event business, and they literally just want me to tell them everything. Tell me what to do. And so I balance I'm here to help you, but I had to put in the work.
Yeah.
I had to learn. I had to work on a food truck. I had to do the event. I had to do stuff for free. I had to read. I had to YouTube.
Yes.
I had to ask. Don't go to somebody in that profession and just say,
tell
me.
Right.
Tell
What's
me.
the
How do I
cheat
start? And I'm like, Google is your friend. YouTube is your friend. Books are your friend. Resources. So
experience.
Again, just start. Do it afraid. Even if you're afraid, just do it and do your homework.
And if you want to, family, she's going to have a catering master class. And it's a 3-day course. It is $2,500 for that master class. I'll have that down in the comments. Don't worry. What's your final thought, Tiffani?
Oh my gosh. For those who want to be an entrepreneur and don't really know how. I've struggled with that. Take some time, review, see what it is that you have a niche for, see what it is that you enjoy and that you love doing. And then like Angela said, go for it. Do it afraid.
Yeah.
I understand that piece of it. The steps are going to align, and even if you fail, you're still going to learn and just figure it out.
Yeah. Yeah. My final thought is know your worth and charge accordingly. Seriously. Charge for your time and your energy. And I don't think we do that. We charge for the product, but we don't charge for the time and the energy. And let me tell you, my time and my energy is so much more than the product. The product is because the time and energy that I put in. I couldn't produce an excellent product had I not put the time and the energy in, right? So I think that's my final thought. Is Sanchez like, baby, you sure? I'm gonna be Sanchez.
I know,
baby, you sure? Baby, you
Because
sure?
you always say that's your final thought, but then you say something else.
See, she
know,
be
do I
listening.
got
She
more?
be listening. She be listening. Now that's my final thought. Family, okay, I love you guys so much. Listen, once again, we on Amazon Music, Podbeam, iTunes, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and Google Podcast. We are www.theCrenshawCorner.com. Family, thank you guys so much for listening. You can also find us on the socials, which is Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and we working on ticky tock. Family, we love you guys. We'll talk to you later. All together, ladies. Bye.